Everybody, it's Cheyenne and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about composite fillings versus amalgam fillings. Now this is a very controversial topic in the dental community. I've had so many patients ask me questions, which one's safer, which one lasts longer. I've been in many conversations when the patient's talking to the dentist about it. It's just one of those topics that, just like fluoride, we get asked a ton about, and there's some people that absolutely refuse to get amalgam fillings or think they're, poisonous and terrible for the body. And then there's some people that just don't care, and then there's some people that just want to hear, some facts or what the dentist thinks about the filling material. With that being said, I've been a dental assistant for a little over 6 years now, and I have definitely formed an opinion on composite and amalgam fillings. I've been in many procedures doing them. I've seen many patients and how they hold up and all sorts of stuff. And before I was a dental assistant, I had no clue. I just thought one was tooth colored and one was silver. And of course, I always wanted the tooth colored one because I didn't want anything silver in my mouth. But I was never somebody that thought they were poisonous or bad for my body. I just always chose the tooth colored. And I think that a lot of people automatically want the tooth colored fillings because, they look better, or they don't want silver showing in their mouths. And I totally understand that. And this video is strictly just my opinion on amalgam fillings and composite fillings. And if you have other opinions or experiences, because like I said, I don't have amalgam fillings. So if you have experiences or something that you'd like to share, please leave me comments down below. I love that people can leave their opinion and people can comment back and forth or their experiences, as long as we're keeping it, nice. There's no need to be rude to each other or making somebody feel stupid because they have a different opinion than you do. I just like this channel to be, great for dental assistants to be able to communicate and get different opinions and share their opinions and experiences as well. That's what I really want for this channel, and that's what I love to see. And I love all the comments, and I love everyone that is communicating with each other and sharing, all that type of stuff down below. I think that's great. With that being said, let's get started with this. So again, if you do not like amalgam fillings, if you do not want them in your mouth, if you feel a certain way about them, perfectly fine. That's your body, that's your mouth. You do what you think is best for you. Again, these are just my opinions. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a pros and cons with amalgam versus composite. Now, starting with amalgam. A pro to amalgam fillings is that they last a very long time. They can last 10 to 15 years. That's the average life of an amalgam filling. I've seen patients come in that have had amalgam fillings for 30 years, and they look great and they're holding up, and they take care of them, and it's fantastic. So that is a big pro with amalgam fillings. Now, also, they are the stronger filling material to use versus a composite. If you have a big filling that you need, say on a back molar, an amalgam filling is going to last a lot longer for chewing and things like that. So I'm not talking about tiny little fillings. I'm talking about people that are missing, a third of their tooth or half their tooth. These amalgam fillings are gonna make that tooth stronger and is gonna be more suitable for that type of filling. Now, cons to amalgam filling is people don't like that there's mercury in there, which I totally understand. Now, the FDA has done tons and tons of research on amalgam fillings, and they have found them to be completely safe for anyone that is ages 6 and up. They don't want them, used in infants or children 6 and under because they're not quite sure if they would be safe for them because of the level of mercury. So 6 and up, me personally, I've never seen a child get an amalgam filling. We usually only do them on adults that have a lot of tooth structure missing, because it is a stronger filling material. Now, I've also seen the comments too that a lot of people are surprised that my office even does amalgam fillings. Now, to me, this is gonna go off into a whole other rant, but yes, amalgam filling is cheaper for the dentist to place. It's a stronger material and it lasts longer. Now, when you go into composites, I do feel that a lot of private offices don't offer amalgam fillings because they're a private office. They're trying to, and I'm not saying this is for all private offices, but some, they need to generate an income. And when you're placing composite fillings, those patients are going to be coming in more often to get them replaced. they don't want to see their patients every 10 years, you know. Of course, they come in for a yearly exam and things like that, but they're going to generate more income from placing composites than they would amalgam. Just my opinion, but that's just personally what I think. Also, composite fillings for patients cost more if your insurance does not cover it. Amalgam fillings are cheaper and are usually covered by the insurance. Composite fillings usually are not. There usually is a percentage that you have to pay out of pocket to get a composite filling. Because to me, amalgam fillings, yes, not everybody wants them because they're not tooth colored, but they're cheaper for the dentist to place. Your insurance covers them. They last a long time. They're the strongest filling material, you know, composites are not as strong, so why wouldn't you want to have amalgam fillings in your office? They're a great filling material. Now, another con of amalgam fillings is you do have to remove more tooth structure to get an amalgam filling to fit in the tooth, to stick into the tooth. Now, composite fillings, they have an adhesive, so composite actually adheres to your tooth, it sticks to it. Amalgam fillings do not. So a dentist has to properly cut the tooth so that he thinks the amalgam filling is gonna basically, because we smash it in there when it's soft, so he compacts it in there, and then as it hardens, it kind of expands in the tooth a little bit so it sits there. It is not attached to the tooth. It is not adhered to the tooth. Now, a lot of concerns with amalgam fillings too is people say that since they think that hot and cold can contract it or make the filling get larger, that it's going to fracture their tooth. I personally have never seen an experience where the filling caused a fracture, but I'm sure it could happen if you have a really, you know, a large filling or if the dentist didn't properly place it. But there are lots of things that could fracture a tooth. Now, moving on to composite fillings. So pros of composite fillings, of course, they're tooth colored. We have many shades to choose from. So your dentist or dental assistant will pick a shade that, you know, matches your tooth color. So you're not going to see it. You can never tell if somebody has a composite filling. You're not going to be able to see it unless your dentist chose a really bad shade, but they usually choose, you know, the proper shade for you. You don't have to remove as much tooth structure because we do use an adhesive and a light to make it adhere to your tooth. Now, cons of composite fillings. Again, they don't last long. Their shelf life or lasting wise are usually about 5 years because they chip easily. They're not as strong as amalgam fillings. They pop out, they stain. Some people don't think about that with composite fillings. They do stain, so people come in to get them replaced because it has turned like a yellowy color. Now, with that being said too, if you have lots of composite fillings, people don't understand that if you are bleaching your teeth or if you use a whitener, you're not going to whiten your composite filling. You're only going to whiten your tooth structure. So if you are whitening your teeth, your tooth colored filling is going to stay the same color that the dentist chose when you went in there, the one that matched your tooth in the first place. Same as crowns and things like that. You can't change the color of those. So if you plan on bleaching your teeth or whitening them, you need to let the dentist know that so he can either choose a lighter shade or just choose not to whiten your teeth because the composite material is gonna stay that same color that they chose. And of course, another con to composite fillings is they're not usually covered by the insurance. Like amalgam fillings are covered by your insurance, composite ones are not. They're more of an aesthetic thing, you know, people choose them because they don't want silver in their mouth or they want, you know, everything to match, which I totally understand, but you are usually gonna pay a little bit out of pocket for those. The fillings also take the dentist more time. So if you go in to get a filling, if you get an amalgam filling, I mean, depending on the size and everything like that, usually composite filling is going to take a little bit longer because they have to do a few more steps to get that filling on there. You know, we have to etch the tooth, we have to use an adhesive on there, we have to light cure it, they have to, you know, shave off composite, they have to mold it to the tooth. There's a little bit more steps into it than amalgam filling, so they usually take a little bit longer. Now, with this all being said, I'm sure you guys have looked at my teeth or, you know, it's hard not to look at teeth when you're in the dental industry. I do not have any amalgam fillings. I do have some composite fillings. I personally, before I was a dental assistant, I didn't have health insurance. So I didn't have any dental insurance. So I just went to random private offices, you know, if I felt that I needed to go, or like every couple years when I had some extra money just to get my teeth looked at and get a cleaning. And I did get a few cavities, and my cavities are actually in my back molars on, I have like 4 of them. They're on my occlusal surface. One's actually on one of my wisdom teeth. And they did not ask me if I wanted amalgam or composite. They automatically just put composite into my mouth. So, and before that I had no dental, you know, I knew nothing about dental. So I just did whatever the dentist told me. So he placed these. Now that I'm in the dental field and I've seen my x-rays, these are very, very small fillings. So I think that's why they chose composite, because they're very small. And if I personally needed a large filling done on a back molar, I would choose amalgam because I know that it lasts longer and I know that it's more durable. But since these fillings are so small, I think the composite works fine for them, because if they do pop out, which one has before, they just replace it really easily. And if I were to get an amalgam, they would have to remove more tooth structure, which I don't want to do because I don't have any decay or anything like that. They would just have to remove a little more tooth structure to get the amalgam to sit in there. So I've always just done the composite. But with that all being said, this is my personal opinion on amalgam and composite fillings. Don't be afraid to ask your dentist what they think would hold up better for, you know, that certain tooth or that certain surface that they're placing the filling on. There are many teeth that you can only put a composite filling on because of the surface or the size, or the amalgam won't, you know, stick in there or whatever it may be. Just ask your dentist and, you know, ask him what he thinks is going to work best. But also, if you prefer to have tooth colored fillings, then that's totally up to you. It's your body, it's your mouth, you know, do what you'd like to do. But yeah, this is just my opinion and what I've learned over the years of assisting. But please leave some comments down below, share your experiences or your opinions on amalgam and composite fillings. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.